10 things that are not included with your Carnival cruise, basic Carnival cruise fare. Let's get to it. Number one, your port fees. Now, depending upon when you go on your cruise, as to where you're going to go, each you're going to have port fees. Now, depending upon where you're going, as to how much your port fees are, because your port fees change depending upon where you're going to go. Some can be more expensive than others, so look out for that, and you got to prepare for those things that's in there along that line. Okay. Number two. Now, this one is a little controversial. Why, I don't know, but it's a little controversial. Let me know what you think about it. It's going to be when you pay your gratuities. Okay. Now, some people say, your gratuity is going to be added in there. So some people prefer to prepay their gratuities. So that way, if you sign when you do your cruise, you don't have to worry about them going up at all. Okay. So, because they're going to go up, they don't go down, they're going to go up. Because the cost of living goes up, your gratuity is going to go up. So, and they go according to your stateroom as to how much you're going to pay for gratuities per day. Okay, so they can get kind of pricey sometimes, but like I said, prepare for those. Those are not included in there, so you might want to look out for that as well. Now, some people like to go down to customer service or guest services and get them removed, and some people like to pay them themselves. But like I said, make sure that when you go, you prepare for those things like that. All right. Number three, okay, your alcohol packages. Your alcohol packages can be very expensive. They can be very, very, very expensive. Now, they go like a limit. I think it's like 15 per day that you can drink. 15 alcoholic things per day when you get the drink package. Now, unless you drink that heavy like that. Now, some people like to get it per glass, and you come out a little bit better. So now at the same time, you can take so many liters of wine per person. But look before you go. Check out what you can and cannot take, because there's so many liters that you can take, or so many ounces that you can take when you get ready to go. So you can carry some of this on there yourself. So watch out for those things like that. Now that being said, the next thing I'm going to is number 4. It's going to be like your soft drink packages. Okay. So now you can take so many cans, not bottles, but cans. Okay. They used to let you take so many bottles, but now they're cutting back on the bottles. They're trying to be eco-friendly and everything else on the cruise lines and stuff. So now the soft drink packages can be kind of expensive too. So watch out for those things as well. So now you can take so many cans per person, okay, with you when you go. And so that kind of helps you out with saving on those things, because if so now you do get, now for free, you do get tap water, you get your juices and the non-specialty coffees and non-specialty teas. You can get those for free. Okay. But and then some people, like I said, some people take those the little thermos with them, like your coffee mugs that you would normally take to work or whatever case is, and they take that and fill it up with the teas and coffees and juices and stuff like that. However, like I said, if you feel like if you need to take your drinks, you can take so many ounces per person, so many cans per person on your cruise. And that'll help you out a whole lot when as far as cutting back on some of that stuff. Because, and think about it like this, they may not have your brand. Because if you drink Coke but don't drink Pepsi, because you got some that drink Coke but don't drink Pepsi, and you got some that drink Pepsi that don't drink Coke. Okay? So that way what you're getting what you want, and you can take it when you get ready to go on there. Okay? All right. Number 5. Okay. That being said, now, if you're like me, I like to drink my coffees. Okay. So, specialty coffees are not included in that. So, depending upon the cruise line you go on, some of them have like a package for those things like that. And some of them included like in your drink package. But your specialty coffees, they're not included in that. So you may want to budget for those things like that if you want to get that. Again, they do have the non-specialty coffees up there for free. Would you get your cream and your sugar and Splendor or whatever case is you like to put in it things along that line. Now, some people like to take the flavor, the bottles, the little small bottles of flavor that you can get, like caramel or um, vanilla, or the other kinds of the different kinds of flavor and stuff like that. You can get those, and some people actually go to the Dollar Tree and get those things like that, or they go to Walmart or Target or whatever your store is that you like to go to, and you get like the special. You can get like that, and then pour it over in your coffee and then stir it up in there. So in that way, and it kind of takes the place of the specialty coffees along that line. So these things that again, all these things are not included with your stuff. Okay, but you can go another route and go around it and get some of those things like that too. All right. Now, that being said, now from the time you go, time you get ready to go through the check-in process until the time you get ready to get, almost to the time you get ready to get off, they're constantly taking pictures of you. Okay. That being said, so those professional pictures that you get, they're not included in it. Now, some people like to take the camera, because every phone now has a camera on it. So, and then some people like to take their own camera, the professional type camera, whatever case is, and you can take your own pictures. Now, you may not get the backdrops that they have, but you can still take your own pictures. And some of them, depends upon when you take them, like you're on outside on the deck and stuff like that at night, and then like when the sun is setting behind you, you can take some beautiful pictures that way. So, snap them yourself, and you can say, like I said, but those those professional pictures that they say, come here, or when you're sitting at the dining room table, or when you're getting ready to get on, and they say, step over here, let me take your picture. Those things are not included in it. Okay, so these things, they can get kind of pricey. Depends upon what kind of package you get and how many pictures you get, because though they can run some serious money. So like I say, you might want to look out for those things like that. Okay. Now, another thing, if you drive down to the cruise port, you got to pay for parking. So that's not included in that. So you might want to budget for that, when you go. And you pay for your parking before you get on the cruise, and not after you get back, but before you get on the cruise. Because that way, so when you get back, all you got to do is get in your car and drive off, because it's already paid. But you're gonna pay to park, and you're gonna pay before you actually park. That's one of the first things you're gonna do when you drive down there. Now, if you don't drive down there, you got to get transportation from the airport to over to the cruise terminal. So you got to look out for those things too. Now, some of them, they do have transfer fees and stuff, so you can get the shuttles and stuff, pay for those that come over. So those things like that, you need to budget for those things like that. So you're going to pay for your parking. One way or the other, you're going to pay for your transportation and your parking. So you got to make sure that that's covered in there, because like I said, and depends upon what terminal you go to and where you are, it's so much per day. And again, they don't take cash. So it's a cashless system. So you're going to have to pay with your card, some kind of credit card. Now, some people will go, and what they do is, so they can budget it, they'll get a prepaid card. So you can go to Walmart or Dollar Tree or the bank and get you a prepaid credit card, and that way you can fund that. And that way you budget yourself out. You don't have to worry about going over your budget, because once that money is on that prepaid card is done, it's done. So you don't have to worry about overdraft fees and stuff like that, because you don't have any, because again, it's a prepaid card. So whatever money you have on there is done. So again, watch out for your parking fees and stuff like that, and your transfer fees when you come from the airport along that line. Okay. So you might want to look out for those things like that too. All right. Now, another thing is that's not included, but it's a luxury. Now, a lot of people like to go to the spa. Okay. Now, if you have a spa cabin, certain things with the spa cabin are included, like the heated tables and stuff that you can lay on, the stone tables that you can lay on, the saunas that's included, the different types of the spa, like again, the saunas and everything else that's in there. I'm trying to think. The saunas and everything else that's in there. You're gonna have to. That might be included with your spa suite. However, when you go to get your pedicure, people like to go get pedicures, manicures, and stuff like that, or they like to get, some of them like to get shaved. Like if you're a guy, you might want to go to shave. If you're paying for, if you're a female, you might want to do like, well, then again, some guys like to do it too. Get your fingernails done or your toenails done or whatever case is, or you might want to get whatever kind of specialty treatments you get, then that's not included. So you might, if you like to go to the spa, then you're going to have to pay for those things like that. Okay. So make sure that those things are not going to be included with your stuff. So you might want to watch out for those things like that and budget for those things if you like to do those things. Okay. Now, one other thing, it's going to be your excursions. Now, when you go to the different islands and stuff like that, now you can go through a third party. But if you're like me, I like to go through the cruise line itself. Like Carnival, I like to go through the cruise line itself, because if your excursions run a little long or whatever case is, that way you're guaranteed that you can make the boat back. You can make it back on the boat. Now, you may not. Now they're gonna make sure that you get back on that boat. They're not gonna just leave you stranded. But now if you're a third party and you don't get back in time, you're on your own. So you might want to make sure that when you book your excursions and stuff along the line, you make sure that it's with a reputable company that you can look through, and they can tell you whether they guarantee you that you can make your ship. Okay. So, but the excursions, because like I said, you can see a lot of beautiful things, because when you go to different places and stuff, you want to see the islands. You might want to see what's out there. You might want to see the different things and the different cultures and the different foods. And you might go to a restaurant, and the restaurant might be taking a little long, depends upon how busy they are inside or whatever the case is. So you might want to, like I said, but at the same time, you might want to check on those things. And when you leave the ship, try and get back about an hour and a half before when if they tell you that your boarding time is at 4, try and get back about 2:30, 3 o'clock, because you want to give yourself that plenty of time to get back. You don't want to be left. You don't want to be on you don't want to be one of those YouTube on there and they show you trying to run back to the ship and getting left. So watch out for those things like that. Okay. All right. Now, one of the other things that you're gonna have to budget for, if you like to stay connected to the outside world, you're gonna have to. The Wi-Fi is not free. Okay, so you're gonna have to. They do have the different Wi-Fi packages that's on there. Okay, and so you have anything from your basic to your premium. Now they have it so that you can do the more than one device at a time, up to I think 4 devices, depending on the ship that you go on. So you got to be careful with those things too, because again, you got to budget for those things, and again, they can be kind of pricey, and they charge you so much per day, not per device but per day. Okay, so and depend upon your cruise line as to how much the prices are on there, because they've constantly gone up. All right, so those are 10 things that are not included on your basic fare on your Carnival Cruise Line. All right. Now, if I've said anything to make you think, or if I've said anything to help you out, please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Okay. And if I forgot anything or left anything out, leave me a comment at the bottom. Let me know what I forgot, because I'm quite sure there are quite a few things that might be, because a lot of people can figure out some things that. There might be some things that I look for that you may not look for. There may be some things that you look for I don't look for. So let me know what it is that you spend a lot of your money on when you go on the cruise fares, like Wi-Fi or the drink packages, or if it's something I forgot. Let me know something I may have forgotten on there. Give me a comment. It helps me to share and grow. And so let me know what you think. All right. Again, I always say, do unto others as you have them do unto you. So if you want to be treated fairly, treat other people fairly. Okay? Because believe it or not, it's going to come back to you one way or the other at some point or another. All right. Take care of yourself. And until next time, we'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye-bye.